My name is Alex Ricciuti. I am one of the career advisors here at Furman University. And today we're going to be talking about both Handshake and LinkedIn. That way, if you have any questions or you need to do a quick update before our Furman Career Connections event this upcoming Wednesday, you can have the basic information at your disposal. We will also be having a quick Q&A afterwards. So I'm going to focus mainly on the key parts that you can update quickly. This is not an in-depth profile update. If you need some specific help, feel free to register for a career advising appointment, or you can message me. We will have some question and answer time after I'm done presenting. We're also going to go over some quick logistics for the Furman Career Connections event. And then I will release the headshot link where you can register for those at the end of the session. Excellent. All right. So what is Handshake and what is LinkedIn? So LinkedIn is a professional networking site it's a social platform where you can network with other professionals. And it is a platform designed for individuals at all stages of their professional careers. Whereas Handshake is designed mainly for individuals who are soon to graduate or who are still in college, whether that's as an undergrad or a grad student. And the Handshake platform is designed to help you find opportunities like internships and full-time positions that are specifically designed with that population in mind. Though we are hosting our Furman Career Connections event through Handshake, we did want to go over both of these because employers will likely look at both of these profiles, whether that's before, during, or even after you speak with an employer if you register for one of their sessions. All right. First things first, we're going to talk about where they're alike. So there are some pretty big overlaps between these two systems. As with most social media profiles, there's a lot that goes hand in hand. So I wanted to talk about some sections that you can update for both of them. And then I'll go into specifics in a few minutes on where some key differences are. First and foremost is the headshot. That's probably what drew a lot of you to this meeting, the ability for you to end up getting a headshot. As you can see, we've got 3 examples here, one good one and 2 mediocre ones, shall we say. The one on the far left, the gentleman wearing the suit and tie, his whole face is visible, very professional, is an excellent headshot. The only critique I could probably give that one is that he is a little bit to the side. I would want him front facing, but that's just my personal taste. If you want to be that a little bit more artsy pose, that's totally fine. The other 2, we definitely want you to avoid a picture with any other individuals. This is your profile, so you want to know which person in the photo is you. And the less you can give an employer, the less chance an employer has to guess, the better off you'll be. The picture in the middle with the individual who's taking a photograph, the filter is not necessarily the worst thing. The worst thing, especially if you are in a fine arts major and you want to show off your photography skills or your picture editing skills, that's totally fine. The issue that we have with this one is that the camera obscures this individual's face. So we want to see your whole face and make sure that you're easily identifiable. Otherwise, headshots, you can do a location, but generally a neutral background with good lighting is ideal. The next section is the summary or my journey. So on LinkedIn, it's called a summary. On Handshake, it's called my journey. This is where you get to introduce yourself to someone who's visiting your profile. We like to think of this as like the first paragraph of your cover letter, where you get to briefly describe where you've come from, where you want to go. You do want to be concise. LinkedIn does limit you to like the first 2 or 3 lines at this point before it hides the rest of this information. So whatever is most important needs to be in those first few lines. As some options, you can definitely describe what motivates you, the key experiences that you've had, if you have any interests or goals, what you're skilled at. All of those are great options for these few sentences to introduce yourself. We do encourage you to use specific keywords that are related to your field. We've got some examples here, whether that's patient interaction, product management, or sales. There's also some examples that we've pulled from previous students as well as members of our staff here in the Malone Center that you can look through, whether that's the young professional with a passion for helping those in need through service and data-driven practices, or if you have my areas of experience include leadership development, crisis response, that sort of thing. The final portion with both of these, you do need to provide a call to action. You want to make sure that whoever's visiting your profile knows exactly how you want them to interact with it, whether that's you're interested in making connections within your field, or if you're looking for opportunities for an internship or for a full-time position. I know it sounds a little odd and can be awkward to write down what you're really looking for, but the more clear and honest you can be with someone who's visiting your profile and how you want them to interact with it, the more likely you're going to get a response because there's less ambiguity, that's the word I'm looking for, with how they want to, or how you want them to interact with you. The next section is the experiences. Now, there are a couple different experience sections for each of these, but I'm just going to talk about experience sections in general. I think on Handshake, they had volunteer experiences or organizational experiences. Same thing goes for LinkedIn. They have a general experience section and then some other ones that you can add that are optional. But overall, there are some keys with this section that we want to emphasize. You definitely want to make sure that you list what your experience was. This can correlate with your resume, but it doesn't necessarily have to. Both of these platforms allow you to add more elements or more experiences than would conceivably fit on a one-page document. So you get to expand a lot more. There are two different ways I've seen profiles written. You can either follow what's going on the left here where we've got the bullet points, or you can do what the individual did on the right, which is more of a narrative form where they've written it in a paragraph. If you're looking to do some quick edits to your profile, it's totally fine to just copy and paste the bullet points from your resume as long as you've had someone look at it and make sure that there's no typos or anything like that. For the narrative style, that's going to be a little bit different as you get the chance to explain the story behind the experience that you would like to convey to someone visiting your profile. Very much less emphasizing, starting with the action verbs, that you can use more pronouns, and it is grammatically easier to write if you're looking for a quick way to write it that feels more natural and have more experience with. In terms of comparing these two sections, LinkedIn is a little bit more dynamic in that you have more options and you can include attachments that's the pen, not the laser pointer. As we've got in this example here, this individual has given a link to their experience with the Heller Service Corps. I think in this instance, it was some sort of article that they had written on behalf of Heller. Handshake, unfortunately, doesn't let you do that. There's no way to link specific hyperlinks or anything like that. But both of these give you the option to talk about where you worked, how long, what the location was, and provide a brief description. So in that case, they're pretty much the same thing. Just make sure there's no typos and you've done a decent job explaining objectively what you accomplished. All right, now we're going to move into where each of these differ. And these are relatively slight, but I wanted to focus again on those brief tweaks that you can make so that you're more prepared for the fair moving forward. First thing, LinkedIn allows you to have what's called a cover photo. I'll show you what this looks like on the profile in just a second, but the cover photo should be something that allows you to express who you are as a professional. And there are some examples provided here, whether that's books, some sort of cell, or architectural drawings, or even what looks like chemicals in some vials. For each of these, they correlate with a specific field. They don't have to be these examples, but we do want something that doesn't have any people in it, uh, but is an expression and a way to start a conversation with someone who's taking a look at your profile. For example, the architectural drawings, if this was someone who was looking to get into math or construction or something along those lines, it would give me as an opportunity, if I was looking at their profile, to ask them about it. Why did you choose this specific picture to personalize your profile? Uh, but as long as they're decent photos, make sure your pixel count is kind of high because it is an awkward picture size to put in the profile header or in the cover photo rather. Um, but it's a pretty nice way to add a little flair to your profile that you can't do otherwise. As you can see, I've got myself and my colleague Rebecca. We both wanted to show off our profiles here. I've got a nature scene. Rebecca has the bell tower. For a lot of Furman students, the bell tower is a great option for your header, lets you show your school pride, and it's just a really pretty photo, and you can find those online relatively easily. But this slide focuses on your LinkedIn headline. Now, for LinkedIn, when you search for someone in the search box, right next to their name, there's going to be a little blurb about who they are, and you do get the chance to personalize that. When it's on the profile, it is the line right after their name. So for Rebecca, she's got advisor, educator, and coach. And for me personally, I just have my position title, so career advisor at Furman University. Now, both Rebecca and I have jobs, so we're not super worried about making these stand out. That's why I just have my current position there. But if you're looking for a job or you're looking to talk to recruiters, this is not what I would advise. If you are searching for a job, you definitely want something that's short and memorable, some sort of professional slogan. So what Rebecca has, briefly describing in 3 words who she is and what she stands for, absolutely is an excellent choice. You can also talk about what excites you, or the type of thing that you're looking for. So for a lot of students, putting something along the lines of like seeking a marketing position, kind of like that third bullet point there, psychology student seeking a marketing position, or undergraduate research assistant or aspiring health professional. All of those are acceptable. We do want to keep these brief because in the search box, you only get to see so many letters. I don't remember what the exact number is, but you don't want that running off the page or being super long that someone's not going to remember what that is when they're looking at your profile. When it comes to Handshake, there are some school-specific sections that LinkedIn does have, but they tend to hide it on LinkedIn, whereas Handshake brings it more to the forefront. And this is just because of who Handshake's audience is. So some of the ones that I got in this screen grab, Handshake does offer organizations and extracurriculars where you get to describe what maybe your leadership position was or the type of organization you were involved with and why you chose to be a part of that organization and how it's helped you. They also offer a section for coursework and projects. For the coursework, this is something you have to be careful with. I am not for you putting your entire transcript on Handshake. When you're thinking about adding courses, make sure that you are picking courses that are specific or will let you stand out in a way that other applicants who are searching for the jobs you're searching for wouldn't have. So if you've taken MAX or some sort of study away, or if you've done an individualized research project, all of those are excellent. Or another example, I was presenting to a class today to theater majors, and one of them was a double major in chemistry. So either way, someone who, for this individual, since they're in theater, if they put some of their chemistry courses, or if they're looking for chemistry jobs and they put some of their theater arts courses, those would stand out to me as a recruiter. It lets me know a little bit more about your interests as a professional. So that's what I mean when you want to put specific courses on there. For projects, again, not every project that you've done in your class should go on here, but some of the more memorable ones or ones that are relevant to what you're looking for are absolutely what you should put in this section. For example, if you do something for Furman Focus or something that is published, or you're doing work with one of your professors, that's absolutely something that should make it into this section. And I do apologize. I just realized the bullet points for this slide did not save. So they are the exact same bullet points from the last slide. But we can go over this more with questions here at the end. But yes, those 3 sections, those are specific to Handshake, and do focus more on your academics as opposed to just your general professional life. And with all that being said, I do want to transition. I'm going to pause the recording here in just a moment. But if you have any questions or you would like more specifics about anything that I've mentioned in the presentation, feel free to schedule an appointment with myself or Kristen or Lauren, who are also on this Zoom call. We're all here to help you. And for the Furman Career Connections, that whole Wednesday on the 3rd, we will be offering an open Zoom call where you can hop on at any point during the day, and the career advising team would be happy to help you with individual questions.